Chairman, welcome, Commissioner Ramirez. I'll be asking yes and no questions, so I would appreciate your cooperation because time is short. Now, the draft legislation pending our consideration exempts entities that must comply with Graham-Leach-Bliley Act, or GLBA. The Federal Trade Commission's rule to implement the data privacy requirements of GLBA is known as the Safeguard Rule. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, Commissioner, does the Safeguard Rule require that a covered entity under the jurisdiction of FTC notify a consumer of a data breach within a certain period of time? Yes or no?
No, it does not.
Commissioner, so an entity regulated by FTC that is covered under GLBA but not the draft bill is under no statutory or regulatory obligation to notify consumers of a data breach within a time certain. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, it would seem to me that we should consider removing the draft bill's GLBA exemption, as well as to include H.R. 2221 60-day backstop notification in the interest of improving consumer protection. Now, the draft bill allows the Commission to modify the definition of the term personal information according to the Administrative Procedure Act, or APA, which I applaud. I'm worried, however, though, that the bill imposes vague conditions on the Commission to be satisfied before it can commence a rulemaking. I fear that the effect would be that the Commission may never amend the definition of personal information. Now, Commissioner, has the Commission examined this matter, and if so, does the Commission share my opinion on the matter?
We do have concerns about the ability of the FTC to modify the definition of personal information, as I've articulated earlier in my testimony.
Now, I would request that the Commission submit its comments for the record. Would you do that for us, please?
Yes, of
on
course.
This question? Now, I understand the draft bill does not treat data brokers any different from other entities that collect and store personal information. This is a change from H.R. 2221, which, by the way, passed the House overwhelmingly, which describes additional requirements for data brokers. The bill does not contain provisions that allow consumers to have reasonable access to information data brokers who collect information about them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, Commissioner, does the Commission believe that brokers should be subject to more stringent data security and breach notification requirements than other entities that collect and store personal information? Yes or no?
In my view, yes.
Would you submit such amplification of that as you might deem appropriate?
Yes.
Now, Commissioner, does the Commission believe that consumers should have a statutory right to reasonable access of the personal information that data brokers collect about them? Yes or no?
In my view, yes.
And I believe you would say that that's the only way you're going to ensure that they will have that right to access. Is that right?
In my view, yes.
Now, Madam Chairman, I appreciate your work on the bill so far, and I want to thank you for this hearings. As my questions have indicated, I believe there are parts of the bill that can be improved. I stand by to work with you and am ready to assist you and the rest of our colleagues in order to report a bipartisan consensus bill that offers consumers the best protections possible. And I would observe just quickly once more, the FTC has substantial experience in the protection of personal privacy from data collectors and things of that kind. Is that not so, Madam Commissioner?
Yes.
So, Madam Chairman, I thank you for the courtesy, and I yield back the balance of my time, which constitutes 37 seconds. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman very much and recognize Mr. Guthrie for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Commissioner, for being here.